of the great things about travel and tnoooz in particular is that we can have, Skyscanner bought by Ctrip for $1 billion, give or take. We've got Duetto, who've just picked up 90 million of funding from Warburg Pincus, but then we've always had a really strong relationship with the startup community, and this is where we're headed now. I'm here with Johannes Siebers, who's founder and CEO of Holidu, which is a vacation rental meta search site. So Johannes, if you just sort of give us an idea about how long Holidu has been around, level of funding, or who's backing you, and then maybe we can just drill down a bit more deeply into what it is that a vacation rental meta actually does.
Sure. So first of all, thanks a lot for having us.
Okay.
As you said, Holidu is a search engine for vacation rentals. Our mission is to finally make the search and booking of vacation rentals easy. So we've started on that journey 3.5 years ago, and we're based in Munich, Germany. And since then we've seen a very strong growth on all fronts. So on the supply side, we're now comparing more than 300 different partners. On the user side, we have a couple million users a month with very strong growth, where we help them find the perfect rental. And on the team size, we're now a bit more than 100 people on the team. And we've also had a couple of financing rounds, seed A and B round, the last two ones led by EQT Ventures, one of the largest and most active VCs in Europe.
Okay, that's great. So a vacation rental meta does what it says on the tin. It just compares 300 providers. How do you sort of drill down the results? Because presumably if I go to Holidu and look for vacation rentals in Berlin, I don't want to get 300. I mean, so are you able to sort of personalize it, narrow it down? I mean, how do you deal with the sort of the volume? You have the volume of inventory to,
yes,
in your database, but what you present to me as the user, how do you drill that down?
Yes, it's a very good question. So the first thing is, how do we match the properties from the different providers? So we use image recognition to identify matches of the same property on different platforms. So we're able to show you the best price for one property. That already drills it down a little bit.
So you use an image recognition algorithm to make sure that the only price that you present for a property across different sites is the lowest one.
Yes.
Okay.
And what many people don't know is that there's actually huge price differences for the same house on different platforms. So the same house on different platforms can cost up to 50% or more than 50% more for the same time frame, same number of people on platform 1 compared to platform B. And that's partly due to the massive intransparency in the market. So what we do is we get all those houses from the different platforms. We have our image recognition algorithm which does the matching, and then we show them as one house and show users where they can book it at the best price.
And is that image recognition software something that you've bought off the shelf or developed yourself?
We've developed all of this and all of the other technologies that we've built in-house.
Okay.
So I co-founded the company together with my brother, who's heading our tech team. And from the beginning, we've always put very strong focus on solving our problems with technology.
Okay, so you mentioned you had a sort of a team of 100 or so. So how many of those are tech guys and girls?
So about half of the team is product engineering, design, and technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of the the end user, the customers, I mean, are you sort of mobile first app? I mean, what's the breakdown in your sort of traffic?
We certainly see very strong adoption on mobile devices, so more than 50% of all our searches and queries are on mobile, and on mobile web and in our apps. And we put very strong focus on that. And that's also where the personalization of the search results plays a huge role, because on a mobile screen you just see very few results, and you also don't want to scroll endlessly to find the perfect rental. So what we do there is we analyze in detail which rentals you interact with, and then due to this we learn a bit on your preferences. So when you interact with a large villa, we learn maybe you want to see more large villas. When you interact with a cheaper apartment, we learn maybe you're more looking for rentals in that segment. And then when we load new rentals from the bottom, we show you more of the similar category. Because what you say is exactly right. Let's take Berlin. We have a couple thousand properties in Berlin, but how do we show the 10 most relevant rentals to you, so that you interact with them and you end up booking one? And that's I think where we can give a big value to the consumer by using machine learning, A, to identify the most attractive ones, and B, learning very fast on what you are really looking for.
Okay, so just thinking ahead, so you've been around for 3.5 years. I mean, the current focus now, with sort of 300 providers, it's almost like the inventory isn't necessarily top priority, is it? So, or it could be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, are you now looking to pull in more inventory, or is it more on the sort of the end user, the consumer side that you're focusing?
It's actually, it continues to be the inventory. So with 300, we are just scraping at the surface of all the providers who are out there. And if we look at regions where we have a lot of the partners, also the local partners, which very often provide the best prices, the best service, that's where we see we can provide the biggest value to our consumers, to our users. So inventory continues to be a very big focus for us, all over the world, with a particular focus on Europe at the moment. And the second big one is continuing to make the search easier. So we do now have a very strong product, but there's so many things to do to continue making search easier, finding faster the perfect rental. So I mean, is that the speed of the search results, or the filtering of the search results, the personalization? I mean, what is the, search is search, but I mean, what is it that you think you need to get better for the end user? In the end, it's how can we recommend the user really what he wants, and how can we cluster users into very specific groups, so we can be really specific and detailed on providing him with the right property. And for that, of course, we do also need the inventory, so that means having all the local players integrated who really then have the best prices, and we can tell for sure this is where you find the best price, and you will not find it cheaper anywhere else, and you not find it with a better service anywhere else. So, I mean,
so are you helping the inventory providers with their tech, or to what extent are you dependent on building your to what extent is your building up your inventory dependent on the tech of your partners?
So we're working very closely with them, trying to help them, advise them on how to integrate with us, but also how to perform best in the market, using the knowledge that we have about the market in a certain region. But we're definitely working very closely with them. But the core question is, of course, the integration into our platform.
Okay, so that's really interesting. I was quite surprised that that 300 partners isn't enough. You need even more inventory. So I'm always glad to be corrected. So that was a really good interview there with Johannes Siebers, who's the CEO of Holidu, the vacation rental meta search site.